Every Wednesday night, 7 a.m. Blaze Radio. Once again, I'm joined by the usual suspects of Tyler Stern, Parker Diamond, Ryan Station. But no Pat 14 this extra week. I'm pretty sure he said he's at a concert, right, guys?
Yeah, that's where he's at.
Yeah. The jury's still out on that.
Do you think it's an excuse just so he doesn't have to come?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not very dedicated to us. But hey, I love the dedication Ryan is showing. He's not even in Cronkite anymore. He's already shown way more dedication than Pat, who's also not in Cronkite.
Yeah, I was about to say, Pat's not in Cronkite.
What can I say, man? It's a passion of mine to be on this show.
Hey, we love it. We love it. But how have your guys' Wednesdays been?
It's been good. I leave tomorrow for Southern California. I'll be broadcasting the USC versus ASU football game live on BlazeRadioOnline.com, Mixler.com/BlazeRadioOnline, and on Twitter at Blaze_sports. So I'm super excited for that. I'll be in the Coliseum.
So will I, but not doing as cool of a job as you.
Yes, and then we'll be at the Padres game on Sunday, hopefully watching the NL wildcard team, San Diego Padres, by that point.
Yes,
or if they clinch that day, I'll take it.
That'd actually be really cool if they clinch that day.
I got a feeling they're going to clinch on Friday when I'll be there.
The magic number is 4 right now, correct?
It's 4, and I don't know how the Brewers game's going right now. I'd assume they're going to win. I have genuinely no idea.
Would you like to know right now?
I mean, I can look it up. It's not that important
Because
the Cardinals won the division last night and got to drink, so they're probably hungover.
Yes, top of the 7th. Brewers are leading 2-1.
Okay, it's close. Never know.
But Ryan, how was your day today?
Good. I mean, nothing super eventful, but the week in general has been good because, my Tennessee Titans won a football game for the first time this season over the Las Vegas Raiders. So pretty boring day other than that, but good start to the week by just having a Tennessee Titans victory.
Your team's the only team that's under 500 right now. Thoughts? That of the 4 of us.
Correct. Yeah, I was going to say.
Pat is active, but he's inactive tonight.
Correct. But a win still feels nice, so.
Parker, how about you, bud?
I told Pat I was going to do that.
What?
Yeah, well, it's an inside joke. So when the Broncos won the other night, I was, mentioning how Jonas Griffith got a pick and super excited for him. And Pat described it as me being like, blah, 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 like mumbling on and stuff, like a cartoon character. So
glad you're doing an inside joke for the person who decided not to come to.
Yeah, I know. I'm recording for him. I'll send it to him.
We're already recording on YouTube.
I promised him I would do it. So, yes. I'm doing good.
So, what was that noise? That sounded like the worst thing.
It's there's like there was a meme that was pretty popular about it. Okay. I can't think of what show. It's from like some old children's show, I'm pretty sure. It's really funny though.
All right. So, as we always start every show, how did our teams perform last week? And Ryan, your team won, so we'll go to you first.
Yeah, I was going to say I kind of led into it with my opening statement there. But so Tennessee Titans victory. It's huge. The one disappointing factor is we cannot score second half points. 24-10. We have only had 1 second half touchdown all year. That was that Dontrell Hilliard touchdown in week 1 against the Giants. Other than that, been shut out. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Mac Hollins, 158 receiving yards for the Las Vegas Raiders out of his career 990 receiving yards were last week against the Titans. Crucial to see him get involved in that pass game, but not at the right time against my team. Pass rush looked good. Ryan will argue this. Kevin Byard is still the best safety in the league.
He just isn't.
I still believe he is.
I don't think he is, but he's definitely in that conversation.
He's in the conversation, but he's not the best.
We'll get into the Chris Jones call later because I know Ryan has a few things to say about that. But anyway.
You don't. No, not. Okay.
But anyway, we didn't give up a 2-point conversion in clutch time like we did week 1, so definitely seen improvements. Todd Downing still sucks as offensive coordinator. I think that's pretty apparent. And, yeah, looking forward to this week against the Colts. Colts coming off that shock victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't want to say it's a trap game for the Titans because, we're 1-2. We could literally lose that game and it wouldn't really impact anything. But, good win for the Titans. It's getting us back on the right track in the win column.
Parker, we'll toss it over to you. We'll start with the guys in the studio first.
Wait, so you're talking first or me?
You
okay.
Go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was so eerily similar to the Texans game. Obviously, this was a very different game. It was against a better team, not better as far as record. The Niners are 1-2, but they're still a better football team. I think a lot of people would agree with that, just off to a little bit of a rough start. So it was a game where It was really sloppy. The offense continues to struggle. And while I know deep down they are going to figure it out, it was another game where it just can't seem to click. The receivers and Russ just couldn't seem to be on the same page. A couple missed throws here and there, a couple routes that were kind of intermingling into each other, which is never a good sign. So it's a lot of fixable things. That's been a key word, but it was a very sloppy game. There's no way to put it. The defense is balled out from both sides. I knew the Niners defense was going to bring it. They're a really good unit. They get to the ball quick. A lot of ball hawks on that defense, and same goes for Denver. I think something that's been overlooked because of the offensive struggles, and all of it's warranted, is the fact that the defense is incredible. It's really, really good. They haven't had a chance to really get tested against a top offense yet, but from what they've been able to show, I think they're going to rise to the occasion. So there's some good things to take away from a game like that, although it was an ugly one.
Dom?
Rams won in Arizona, aka the grass is green, the sky is blue. Sean McVay, Rams are 6-0 in Arizona. 6-0 against a divisional opponent on the road. That's pretty incredible, huh, guys? Especially a team that's, been fairly successful over the last 6 years, have had a couple of good teams, especially Murray. I got to be there. I was the spotter for JB Long on Rams Radio. It was an awesome experience, one that I'll probably never forget. He was super awesome. I only gave him the wrong player twice. One time he knew I was wrong, so it didn't even matter. The other time he quickly corrected it because it was an injury, and he was able to be looking at it. It's not like he was broadcasting like a play and something else happened. So really cool. Rams defense was phenomenal. 58 pass attempts from Kyler Murray, 0 touchdowns. They had 30 more plays than the Rams and couldn't get in the end zone once. It was a nice win. The Rams covered the 3.5-point spread on the road. Those are, of course, tough divisional games, but the Rams just own the Cardinals, and it was good to see that. They also won without a Matthew Stafford touchdown for the first time in his career, and it ended a streak of 6 games in the regular season with multiple interceptions, which is pretty hard to think about. 6 straight games with multiple interceptions.
Seems a little rough.
Stafford?
Yeah.
Or the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey!
Yo.
That was the biggest lock of all time, was that the Colts were going to cover that spread. I was shocked they won, but
Actually-
I'll actually tell you about this because this is a funny story.
I told my friends to bet on the Colts
Oh, yeah.
spread.
I mean,
told them
anytime
to.
you're seeing like 90% of bets and the line's not moving until Sunday, like that's how you
I
know
told
the
him.
smart guys
Yeah.
are on it.
I told them.
Uh,
I did not like it.
but I was watching that game with Maurice Jones-Drew, which flex, by the way. And he's the Rams color commentator on their radio. And he said when the Chiefs went up by 7.5, he's like, the Colts are going to go down and score a field goal this drive because their offense is going to stall out. They're not going to allow any more points. And then on their final drive, they're going to go down and score a touchdown. And he said, and it's going to propel them to a nice run, and they're going to win the AFC. And I don't know if that's going to come true, but that exact game scenario came true. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, what a pathetic game from the Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go.
Honestly, I'm going to say it every week. This defense is top 20.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Defense is top 20.
That's
the defense played well.
I'm in it for the long haul.
Okay, let me tell you something, Dom. In essence, they only gave up 10 points because the first 7, they were gifted to him because Sky Moore can't handle a punt.
Yes,
So
that is true.
the defense played well, but the offense looked terrible for the second straight week. There's no rhythm in that offense. I don't know if it's Bieniemy calling the plays compared to week 1. I don't know what it is. But after putting up 45 points week 1 to this, it does not make any sense to me. In the past 2 weeks total, they've scored 34 points compared to the juggernaut from week 1.
Maybe I should have bet on them to not be a top 20 offense. I'm kidding. But
Yeah, because that's smart. But it was just a very frustrating game. I was at work during this, watching it, and I was watching in disbelief, especially because why are you running the clock out on second down before the half when you need one play to get in field goal range? Absolutely ridiculous.
Given Amendola would have probably missed that field goal, but
You know what? You just
He sucks.
perfect segue. You want to know the worst part about that?
Justin
Matt
Reed.
Amendola is terrible, first off, and I'm glad he got cut. But Justin Reed should have kicked.
You're glad he got cut. That's not very nice, Ryan.
You know what? You know what? When you miss a chip shot 34-yarder, you deserve to get cut.
Ryan, how would you feel if Matt Amendola said that you need to drop out of school?
I probably should, honestly. Like, I could drop out of school.
Justin Reed's the best kicker in the league by far.
Justin Reed should have been kicking the extra points. But Chase McLaughlin, the kicker for the Colts, was at the Chiefs tryout where they decided to pick Matt Amendola. Where's the sense there? Where's the right pick?
Yeah,
I mean-
Rodrigo was right in your lap.
I was just saying, yeah,
I mean, I would
Rodrigo.
take Rodrigo Blankenship. Like, I love Rodrigo. I love the rec specs. I love him.
I
He probably
bought
would have made that kick too.
friend of the program David Medina a Rodrigo Blankenship jersey, and then he
That's
missed a crucial field goal in the
And is
game
now
against in the playoff game against the Bills, and then now he's cut. I'm like, oh no.
So very frustrated with the special teams. The special teams was absolutely terrible. But the thing that's most baffling to me is 4th down and 10. You go for a fake field goal. Why would you not just leave the ball in the hands of Patrick Mahomes in that scenario if you're going to do that?
Because they wouldn't be expecting the fake field goal, Ryan. That's why.
Pat was playing Madden, actually. He was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Pat was calling plays.
That is a Pat call right there. But
It's
it
a
was-
comment that we got to use for when
terrible.
he's here, Pat.
Yeah, Pat, get off your you know what and get here. Sorry, I'm not like him and cuss on the air. But
Good
I
job,
was
Ryan.
baffled. I was upset. I was like, you want to go for, if you want to pull something like that, just keep it in the hands of the best quarterback in the NFL. But no, they have to pull that stupid. I'm glad I cut myself off there. But the thing that infuriated me the most, Chris Jones gets a BS penalty.
What does BS stand for, Ryan? For the listeners who don't know.
Use your context clues, folks. I think you guys know what that means. But it was a BS penalty. The ref said he said something egregious, disgusting, that shouldn't belong in the league, yet he would not say what it was in the report.
I mean, I
There
would
was
agree.
nothing there. Both sides were jawing. Both sides were jawing in that. And yet you want to throw the flag on Chris Jones? Tom Brady can say anything he wants to anybody. He can say.
I bet he can't say the N word. We're just being honest.
Wow. Way to pull that one out of left field. Tom.
I'm just saying.
Way to pull that out of left
You said he
field.
could say anything, and I'm saying I don't think that's
He
true.
could call any player whatever he wanted, but yet he does not get flagged. But yet Chris Jones does in a pivotal spot. An absolute joke of officiating. And then the drive before, Patrick Mahomes gets yanked by his face mask out of bounds. No flag was called. Where is the consistency? You're going to protect Matt Ryan from Chris Jones saying a few words, but you won't protect Patrick Mahomes, who was getting thrown around by his face mask. Does that make sense, FL?
Yeah, it was a
That
bad
makes a
call.
lot of sense.
And then it
It
led
sure
to a
does.
missed field goal, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
I just wanted
Well,
to
you
make.
know
I just
what?
wanted to make sure. Just
Automatic
wanted to-
first down. Give it to Mahomes. I trust him way more than Matt Amendola.
Really?
That guy is a joke. Honestly, I would have rather had Carter Brown, the ASU kicker, go out there for Kansas City.
You're gonna say KU.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Wave the wheat, baby. They're 4-0. Wave the wheat. But I was so
Wave
mad
the
at that
wheat.
Chiefs game because the defense played well. The defense did everything they needed to do to win the game. But yet your offense is out of sync, and yet a field goal, just a field goal, would have done it. Would have at least sent to OT, and then I trust Mahomes in OT. But come on.
Can you guys hear me better?
Uh,
Can you guys hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think on the board it had the mics mixed up. Like it's got mic 3 on here, which is so backwards.
Ruh-roh.
And then so I had both of your mics on because when you were getting passionate there, I'm like, why is this so like loud in my headphones? So hopefully, if you're listening to us in Taylor Mall, you know what BS means. And hopefully now it sounds a little bit better. I can hear myself a lot better. So I
Who
think
is smacking their lips?
That would be
Parker.
Mr. Dunn behind me
Parker,
here.
if that was you, you know what he would say to you.
that was so awesome.
That was so funny.
That made for a great moment.
That was a great moment, but wow, we could have gotten canceled for that. But overall, very frustrated Chiefs performance, and yet now they go face Tom Brady. So I'm so excited for this week. All right, Let's see. Should we go with favorite matchup or favorite performance from this week? Dom, I'll let you choose.
Matchup.
Okay, Dom, what was your favorite matchup this week?
It was Chiefs versus Colts.
I hate you.
I'm sure.
I hate you. I absolutely hate you.
No, but I mean, like, in all seriousness, this is a great instance of a team that needs a win, returning home, versus a team that is really good, has 2 wins, has some flaws, and it showed. And you know what? You got to give a lot of credit to the Colts. They may not win this division, but they have a shot at it now. Even if they win
the
3.
Jaguars are winning the division.
Yeah. Hey, who was the guy on the show before week 1 who said, low-key Jags have a good shot at winning this division? It was me.
Who was the one that said the Raiders win the AFC West and they're 0-3?
Also me. Good point. So, you know, I think that this was a get-right game for the Colts. I'm not going to say they're going to win the AFC like Maurice Jones-Drew. I just said that, Ryan.
I don't know. You're inconsistent sometimes.
I'm inconsistent sometimes? I like to think that I'm consistent.
No,
Okay. Thank you. But Colts Chiefs.
I hate you.
Okay.
Ryan, over to you. Favorite matchup from this past week?
Vikings Lions. That
Great
was a
game.
great
That
game.
was a good game.
Got to watch it with Gannon Hannibal.
To be honest, the Detroit Lions offense is actually pretty good. I know
Very-
Parker has Amon-Ra and
Mr.
fantasy.
Goof.
Yeah, the goofball himself, Jared Goff, man. He finds ways to blow leads, just like the Falcons
So
do. But
bad.
I mean, the fact that the Lions can score points is promising compared to last year, but they were up 10 with 10 minutes in the game left. And the fact that, Dalvin Cook goes down, Alexander Madison, who is very underrated still, comes in and scores that touchdown. And then KJ Osborne in the corner of the end zone with 45 seconds to put him up at the end of the game. Clearly the best game of the week. I was trying to look through a bunch of the other games, but I didn't see anything else that really compared to the two. So I would go Vikings
That's a really good
Lions.
pick.
I think it's arguably, other than the Colts Chiefs, the only matchup that was somewhat worth talking about.
Parker, over to you.
Dolphins Bills.
Happy
Great
time.
AFC East matchup.
I don't know how I
between
forgot about that.
2 really good teams. It had one of the funniest highlights ever with
A
that
butt
punt. Anytime you can reference Mark Sanchez's butt fumble, it is a good time.
I got to
So,
see Mark Sanchez on Sunday.
this guy is on a heater.
I'm on a
Um,
heater. It's relevant.
It was a fun game to watch. It's a really interesting division because of those 2 teams going at it. It was just a lot of fun. There's a lot of firepower between those 2 offenses, and you can say what you want about the quarterback matchup, but a lot of fun, skilled players to watch. Tyreek, Waddle, Diggs, Gabe Davis when healthy. So I can guarantee you that matchup in Buffalo later on in the year is going to be even better. So really excited for how that division is going to unfold.
Is Tua immortal?
No.
No, not at all.
Poor guy, dude.
No.
They're saying it was a back thing. But
So cap. So
dude,
cap.
that's just such a lie.
That dude could barely
He
walk.
should have never went back in that game, bro. That's bad. Bad on the Dolphins.
All right. Since every good game was just taken, I'm going to go on a stretch here. I'm going to say Ravens Patriots. A lot of good offense in that game. That game was close for the majority of it. So I'm going to go with Ravens Patriots. Lamar is playing his way to nearly $4 million. Seriously, he's been electric in the first 3 weeks of the season. So he definitely made the right call by declining that contract that the Ravens offered him. But, man, the Ravens offense looks really good. And it's guys like Devin Duvernay, Rashad Bateman, who we were all pretty high on.
I mean, Duvernay was good at Texas.
J.K. Dobbins is back too.
Mhm.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is back. So the offense is looking really good. And
They're going to roll to that AFC North title.
Yeah, absolutely.
They might. They honestly might. But now let's go to your favorite performances of the week. Does anybody
Oh.
stand out to you? And we'll go in reverse order this time. To Parker.
Khalil Herbert.
Damn it, he took mine.
Woo!
Wait, Ryan, go with Mac Hollins.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. But go ahead, Parker.
Shout out to Khalil Herbert. Totally has nothing to do with my fantasy team. But no, shout out to him though.
Your fantasy team that sucked.
Yes,
Ooh.
my fantasy team that's still better than yours.
Are you going to beat your girlfriend this week? In
hopefully-
fantasy. In fantasy.
Oh,
in
hey,
fantasy,
yo,
in fantasy.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully
Sir.
my team will annihilate hers. It's actually gonna be a really good matchup though, on paper at least. But Khalil Herbert, good running back. He hasn't gotten too many carries as their backup. Dave Montgomery's another really good back who's gotten a large majority of them. But that game, yes, it's against the Texans, but it still shows that you give him a larger workload and he can kind of go be that bell cow for you. So it's looking like things are going to indicate him being RB1 this week, maybe some weeks beyond. But at the very least, even if Montgomery does come back, it should at least show that, give the guy some touches because he can make a lot out of it. So props to him. I think he had over 150 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He absolutely killed it.
Ryan?
No, Ryan. I mean, again, great performance by him. They did not win the game, so that's what matters. Devontae Smith, 8 catches, 169 yards, and a touchdown. I think he might be wide receiver 1 in that offense. I don't know about A.J. Brown leading him in catches, yards at the end of the year, but
he's just salty that he wanted test.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit, but yeah,
They're both really good.
Devontae Smith is unreal. He went from having 0 receptions and I think like 5 or 6 targets in week 1 to having that monster. The last 2 weeks have been monster for him. So Eagles are arguably the best team in the NFL right now and could possibly have the best offense to go along with it.
Dominic?
Cordero Patterson. He was a dog. 17 carries for 140 yards. This isn't even he is now, but it was never a primary running back. It's crazy how many teams have had him and never fully unlocked his potential. And then the Falcons, who have been absolutely awful, are finding it. So they got their first win of the season in Seattle.
Let's go, baby.
Seahawks stink. Who would have thought? They beat the Broncos somehow. But I think that Cordero Patterson was a dog.
All right, my pick, Jalen Hurts. He's looked really good to start the season. 22-35, 340 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. He looked really good. Only ran for a season low 20 yards on the ground, but overall, he's been really good. People doubted him coming into this year saying, is he really the franchise guy to lead this offense that has a lot of talent? And yes, he is. He's been really good. So another standout performance from him. But let's get into this week, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's a really good matchup between the Dolphins and the Bengals. 2 explosive offenses, a solid defense for both sides, I guess. Not as much for Cincinnati, but what do you guys think of tomorrow's matchup?
I really like the Bengals in this matchup. At home, prime time, they get to stay there. Miami's got to fly all the way up north after a hard-fought game. They just beat the so-called best team in the NFL. This is kind of their get-back game. It's a prime position for them to fall, especially with the concerns around Tua, given his health. I think that he's silencing the people who are doubting his talent, and I mean he's also got just an insane wide receivers group. But when you consider the fact that he's banged up, he might have something wrong with his head, and the Dolphins are just trying to hide it. Going on the road up north, it might be a little cold. I really think this is a good spot for the Bengals to get to 500.
Yeah, it's a good game. I mean, currently right now it says
I'm so sorry.
Okay, Tua back. There's the big ol' this for anybody watching the stream because we're not really buying it. That didn't look like a back issue. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but supposedly he's gonna play. He's gonna stick it out, and I can't advise that. I don't think that's a good decision, but I do agree. I think the Bengals will probably get this one done, partly because Tua might be throwing it to the defense, not knowing who's who, because his brain is scrambled right now. And if they had to turn to Teddy Two Gloves, I don't see that going well either. So I do think that this is a good game for the Bengals to be able to get back to 500. They've had a really rocky start to the year. The O-line's still trying to gel. The offense is trying to pick it up. It's been a really slow start for a lot of guys on that team. And I think that this is a good week to get on the right side of the win column. And not only that, but take down one of only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. Arguably, these two teams have the best wide receiver groups in the league. I mean, so it comes down to who could pass the ball more efficiently. I was just looking at the Bengals stats. The O-line improved after we were just kind of bashing on them the last few weeks here on the show that they were going to have a lot of sacks. They only give up 2 to the Jets, given it is the Jets, right? But I like the Bengals. They also are debuting the white Tiger helmets, which are going to be super sick. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Those uniforms are going to look really clean. Not that it has anything to factor into a W, but I think at home, getting back to even is a huge thing for them in the AFC North because other than that, the Ravens could run away with the division really quickly. So I'll take the Bengals. I like their playmakers on the outside to get the job done. And, Joe Mixon is also someone they have to deal with because I'm not a big Chase Edmond guy for Miami, but I will take the Bengals at home because of the playmakers they have.
I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a shootout. So whoever likes the over and gambles a lot, bet the over.
Is that you?
No, I don't gamble anymore. We've talked about this.
That's
Okay? Due to my internship with Sunday Athletics, I quit gambling. No, it's not cap, Ryan. How dare you? But
How dare you?
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm very excited to see Tyreek Hill versus Eli Apple.
oh boy.
I think that's going to be so entertaining. There might be a fight.
Awful.
I don't know. But I also think Tyreek is going to torch him.
He should. I mean, it's Eli Apple, Ryan.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean I don't want to see it, okay? Just because it should happen will not make it any less awesome, okay? Stop trying to put I don't know why I was going to say that. But I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I just think that a tough division battle for Miami, then having to travel on a short week to Cincinnati as they face the Jets and won handedly, I think it favors the Bengals more, plus they're at home. So I'm going to take the Bengals over Miami in this one. So, yeah. But I want to get into previewing our teams matchups for this week. So, Dom, go ahead and get us started with the Rams.
Monday Night Football in San Francisco. They haven't won there in a couple of years. It's been a rough go of it. And you know what? The 49ers have not looked good this season. They just have not. Their only win is at home against the Seahawks, who, once again, are not a good team. Looked absolutely horrific against the Chicago Bears and looked absolutely horrific against the Denver Broncos, two teams that have shown us absolutely nothing to believe they're any good teams. So I think it's going to be a tough test for the Rams, and I think that shows with them being underdogs in this game. Obviously, a divisional game on the road. You're more than likely going to be underdogs, especially in prime time. This game was on Monday Night Football last year, and it went absolutely horrific for the Rams. It was a horrible game. They looked so bad, fell down 14-0 in the first 10 minutes of the game through 2 interceptions for Matthew Stafford. It was bad. And you know what? The 49ers have the recipe to absolutely exploit the Rams on defense, just with a dink and dunk game, running the football really well. No Sebastian Joseph Day this year, as he's now a member of the Chargers. It's going to be up to Greg Gaines and Ashawn Robinson to keep the 49ers in third down and long situations and really make Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball a little bit further than Kyle Shanahan and he wants. And if they do that, they've got a shot. If they don't, I'm not sure the Rams are going to win this one.
Well, Dom, I think there's one key thing that can actually really help the Rams. Just pin them deep inside like the 3-yard line. Garoppolo will run through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
And if he doesn't, he'll throw a pick six.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Parker, what was your reaction to that? Like, were you happy? Like,
So,
knowing
I
that
mean,
could be a pick six?
I didn't realize at first because we were like 30 seconds behind.
Okay.
So I saw a tweet that described Eddie Orlovsky, and I couldn't even wrap my head around it. I didn't even think that that was even possible to happen a second time. And then sure enough, when it did happen, I was just so caught off guard at actually watching it with my own eyes that I didn't even notice the pick six. So it wasn't until about 30, 40 seconds after that I was upset, knowing the offense was probably going to not score. So, oh well.
Hey, a win's a win,
Yep, it is.
despite the Royals and Mariners outscoring both teams. But, Parker, we just got you, so go ahead. Preview the Broncos matchup this week.
It's a matchup on the road versus the Raiders. The Raiders are 0-3. I believe the Broncos are the better team. They just have to show up on both sides of the ball. I know the defense is going to show up. That's a given. One matchup I'm really excited about, Surtain and Adams. Definitely giving Adams the edge because Surtain still is a really young corner, but I do think that that's one to watch out for. I believe I saw 2 different sets. One said there was 5 targets towards him. One said it was 6 against the Niners, and he didn't allow completion and had 2 pass breakups. He is so unbelievably legit. The defense is really good. They're going to eat up Derek Carr. I know they're going to put pressure on him. It's just a matter of if he gets the ball out quick, and if he does, then I know that offense can definitely do some things. But really it just comes down to whether or not Russell Wilson can do his thing. If he can be able to get receivers the ball, they need to be able to get open, and if they can do that, they can pound the rock down the Raiders' throat because the Raiders do not have a good defense. Their defense ranks towards the bottom of the barrel right now. So the biggest thing that scares me is they're 0-3. my football coach back in the day always said that the most dangerous animal is the wounded one because it's desperate and it's fighting for its life. The Raiders are fighting for their life. They lose this game, there's no shot at playoffs. They're done. They're cooked. And they know it. So that's a scary thing.
Ryan, how about the Titans
I
this
was gonna
week?
say I agree with the whole 0-4 thing and not making the playoffs. So that's a good comparison. So like both of these guys were talking about, Titans also have a road divisional game this week, going to Lucas Oil to play the Colts. Fun thing with the Colts is before Andrew Luck retired, he was 12-0 against the Titans. However, since he has retired, they have a winning record now against the Colts. So it is a big change in the dynamic in that matchup in the past 4 years or so with him being gone. Lucas Oil is still a tough place to play. As we know, the Chiefs just lost this last week. And this is also their first
You know
division.
what? My team's not under 500, so I suggest you stop.
I'm
that.
hoping my team is under 500 after this week, Ryan. And I
Oh,
would,
you know what?
Ryan, I think
One and
that
two.
was journalistically lame of you to get mad at the fact
You know
that
what? I'm
that
tired of
That was
people
just-
bringing it up.
you're tired of it. Well, I mean, dude, the Chiefs have been to 4 straight Super Bowls, and Ryan says, "Oh, you know, it's tough to
Wait,
4 straight AFC championship appearances."
they have hosted-
Ryan would love it if it was
Okay.
4 straight Super Bowls.
My bad, Ryan. You know what? You stink. I'm going to mute your mic if you stop.
Anyway,
Do
Ryan,
it.
I would like
I
to
dare
continue
you.
about the Titans.
I dare you to mute my mic.
All right, I'm going to continue. So,
Yeah.
great running back matchup as well. Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had 85 rushing yards last week. Still, everyone expects a lot more out of him. He was very efficient in the passing game, which is great for him because he never catches the ball. He's not a great pass catcher in general. But I think the Titans can go into Lucas Oil and win, especially after they came off a very confidence-boosting win against the Chiefs. I think the Colts might be, I won't say slacking, but not really prepared for this Titans team that's coming into play with them. But the defense looked good. Rashad Weaver, oh my God, I can't even talk right now. Rashad Weaver, not undrafted, 6th-round pick last year. More of a pass coverage linebacker, but he's been put into a pass rushing role because of Harold Landry being out. So I'm excited to see him play. He has 3 sacks on the season already. But I think as long as the defense can limit Matt Ryan to, a touchdown pass, maybe, he is prone to turning over the ball over a lot, as we've seen early. So I think Titans have a good shot. First divisional matchup of the year, like I said earlier. So kind of sets the tone for how the AFC South might play out because it's going to be brutal between the 4 teams as they're all nothing spectacular this year, in my opinion.
If you want to know a trick, guard Jelani Woods.
Yeah, Jelani Woods' first touchdown and then 2+ touchdowns would have been a great hit. So
it would've been
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah. I expected something from Mo Alley Cox.
I was going to say
but
Mo
nope.
Alley Cox, but they seem to
Nope,
run a lot
they
of
had to
2
go
tight end
with
offense.
Woods.
He got won like 30K because of that first touchdown.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A little frustrating there. But
I think we need to start changing. We need to call it Mo Cox, not Mo Alley Cox. Mo
I'm down
Cox.
for that change.
I'm sure he is still.
okay. Okay.
It's his name. It's his name.
All right. So I don't like the Chiefs matchup once again. I hate it. I would not shock me if they lose back-to-back games.
Mr. Brady.
There's also no way the Buccaneers lose back-to-back home games. It also might not be a home game.
It's probably
This
not
is true,
going
the
to.
Hurricanes.
That's the weird part is that it could be going to Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That's silly.
Regardless of where it's played, I don't like it because we all know what happened last time these 2 teams faced off.
What happened?
Right.
You already know, so I'm not going to appease you and tell you.
I'm going to say it, though. They lost the Super Bowl.
I believe that's what it was. You actually jogged my memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Lost in the
Ryan.
Super Bowl.
This is what we were missing on the 4-3 show.
We already have Pat for that.
He keeps it 100. Pat does not keep it 100.
If
You
Pat
know
kept
that.
it 100, he would be
Yes,
here
he
right
does.
now.
He may
Anyway.
antagonize you, but he doesn't keep it 100. All Ryan is doing is spitting facts.
Yeah, I mean, if
He
I was
pointed
lying about
out
the
that
Chiefs'
the
success,
Chiefs lost at Lucas Oil Stadium, which was him pointing out that it's tough to win there. And then you said, we all know what happens the last time the Chiefs played the Buccaneers, and I forgot.
No,
I
you
forgot.
didn't.
No, I
you
did not.
didn't.
No, I did
you
not.
didn't.
Okay,
Mhm.
See,
fine.
now you're just trying to stir the pot. That's all you're trying to do here. And I'm telling you, Tom Brady is the vein of the Chiefs' existence.
He is.
As he is for
He's
a lot
the
of
vein. Yeah, I was about to
franchises.
say. I was about to
As
say
he is
that.
for a lot of franchises. And for some reason, that Bucs offense is going to go off. I just know it. Despite them not looking good through the first 3 weeks, it's going to happen.
Well, are they
And
going
I
to get
just
healthier?
don't know what to think.
they need health in the wide receiver core
Yeah,
for
Getting
sure.
Mike Evans back
Yeah,
helps.
they're getting Evans back. which
And their
helps.
O-line's not as good as it was.
Injuries.
I'd love to see Chris Jones flatten Tom Brady twice. I'd love it. You know what? even better.
And they get called for a
What?
penalty.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
saying something mean.
Tom Brady goes in on him saying a bunch of rude things, and then Chris Jones says, "Shut them up," and then he gets fined for 15
And
yards.
then suspended 8 games.
No, more like a whole entire season, more than Deshaun Watson.
More than
But
Willie Gay too.
that is such a terrible suspension. I don't want to get into that one either. But I don't like this matchup, and I would love to see Furious George Karloftis, destroy.
Don't get out of here with that nickname.
Hey,
Oh my
that is
god.
his nickname. Do
That's
not hate
so-
on his
Hey.
name.
brother.
He was-
dude.
Furious George.
That's so cringe.
He was going crazy for me in Madden last night. Parker can attest to this. He had
Dude.
3.5 sacks. It was
You know
unreal.
what? And he's going to do that on Brady this week. 3.5 sacks right away.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would love it.
Gosh.
But
Furious.
I don't like the matchup. Tom Brady always finds a way, whether it's D Ford being offsides, whether it's the Chiefs offensive
Oh, yeah,
line
that's
being
Tom Brady's fault.
terrible,
Mm.
or just Tom Brady being Tom Brady. You know, Chiefs just don't have a good track record against him, as very
most
few
teams. Yeah.
franchises do. So I don't like the matchup. Of course, I want the offense to get its head out of its you-know-what and actually do something, get back to week 1. So if that could happen, it could be a shootout. But right now, I don't feel confident whatsoever in the Chiefs' offense, and I don't feel confident whatsoever in the Chiefs against the Bucs.
We need to rewind there.
Ryan, I obviously I know you want to do play-by-play or video, but I really hope someday you can be a sports talk show host in Kansas City, and you can just go off about the Chiefs for like 3 hours.
You know
It would
what?
be electric.
You know what? I'm going to go off on a couple of things real quick.
Oh, boy.
Nebraska, I am begging you, take Eric Bieniemy. Please. You removed you.
No. I was just putting my hand there. I
Oh.
promise.
If you were going to mute me, I was going to remove
No,
you
why?
from this
Why
show.
would I mute you in that spot?
Also, fire Dave Top. He made the decision for Matt Amendola. Fire him.
Oh, is that the guy that kept showing?
That's the special teams coordinator.
Yeah, Bozo.
Yeah, bozo. That's a great word to describe him. Last
Is he
night.
also the guy that wanted to draft the I don't know if he's racist or Townsend? He's got some he said some stuff on Twitter.
Everybody said stuff on Twitter.
I haven't.
Every athlete has said something on Twitter, or most.
Ryan's defending himself.
Am I an athlete?
We've all been
No.
there, right, guys?
Am I an athlete? No.
Come
Do I have to
on.
do Twitter? Yes, I do. But yeah, Dave Top, your time should be done in Kansas City. Same with you, Bieniemy. You're an overrated coordinator.
Wow.
But what? Am I wrong?
Remember not so long ago when you're saying, how is he not a head coach right now? He's a
Well,
great
you know
guy.
what?
Still good
You know
at
what?
his job.
I
We found
see
out.
it now. I see it. I see why the guy doesn't have a head coaching job. You know what? The only way he'll get a head
Go
coaching
coach
job is if he
Nebraska.
goes back to college. And you know what? Nebraska, take him, please.
Arizona
Take
State
him.
next head coach.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. God.
Edwards to Nebraska.
You know what? Nebraska, don't take Lance Leipold from KU. Take Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs. Please, I'm begging you. But that's just
Lance
my little rant.
Lightpole.
Leipold? The KU head coach?
Okay.
Wave that weed,
Like-
baby.
Wave the wheat, baby! 4-0! They should be ranked. But we're not going to get
It
into
doesn't
that.
matter. Just tell. It does not matter.
Hey,
Just
it's not
remind
matter.
yourself that.
Just remember, at the end
AP
of
poll
Saturday,
frauds.
KU will be 5-0.
Maybe.
This is
I
crazy
don't
to me.
know.
5-0.
Who do they play?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
at home.
Oh yeah, they should win that.
5-0.
Oh.
And when KU
And they
is
still won't be
5-0,
That would
put
be
some
so dumb.
respect
A Big
on
12 team starting
their
5-0,
name.
being unranked.
Shout
You
out
know what?
Overland Park,
You know
Kansas, baby.
For you two, in the
OP.
studio, put some respect on Jalen Daniels.
Oh, he's really good.
He is good.
He is really
Brother.
good. 10 touchdowns in his last 2 games.
4-3 show on Blaze Radio Online.
Jalen Daniels is a Heisman candidate as of right now. And you know what? I don't see him stopping. I expect him to go off the rest of the season. But you know what? We're not here for college football as much right now. All I will say is that the NFL is very much, I can't say the word I want to say. It's a joke. The NFL's a joke with how their officiating goes. But, all right, let's move on. Tom, I have a question for you.
I might have an answer.
So, looking at the Rams, what is concerning you more? Oh, hold on. Brooklyn, are you really going to say college football is better than the NFL after last week?
Damn, dude. You're really going in on my
Damn.
girlfriend?
Damn, you're foul for that.
Maybe she can replace Pat on the show.
I would love for her to replace Pat. I would love for Brooklyn to replace Pat. She'd be way more consistent. She wouldn't cuss on air. And honestly, I think she'd be awesome to have.
Yes.
But, yeah, that's a discussion for a later time. Pat just wants to be fired, but we can't appease him. So,
I tried to be fired. 30 seconds in.
and then Parker, if you keep chewing your ice, I'm gonna kill you.
I wasn't doing that. I was just lip smacking.
What am I concerned
Good
about
old
the
lips,
Rams?
Yes, are you concerned more about Stafford, or are you concerned more about the lack of pressure so far generated?
I'm more concerned about the O-line is what I'm really concerned about.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But no, I mean I think Stafford's gonna be fine. He made some incredible plays against the Cardinals, and the 2 plays, one where he kind of navigated the pocket and got a 4-yard scramble, set up the first down for the touchdown drive, and then another one, he had to maneuver a sack on Zaven Collins, I believe it was, and then threw sidearm below a defender in between 2 to get Cooper Kupp for 11 yards for a first down, and that was the second touchdown drive. That was after 3 straight 3-and-outs, and they were staring down the 4th if he didn't make that play. Then Cam Akers, who had a great game until he fumbled.
He did.
I'm not concerned about Stafford. I mean, he hasn't been good by
Yeah.
any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, it seems like the elbow isn't really bothering him.
Parker, I want to move over to you.
Oh boy.
Eli Manning said something very hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good joke.
What do you think of it?
It was funny. It was funny. No, I mean, shout out to Corliss Waitman. I mean, dude's balling. Good for him, you know. Not too much experience. He was with the Steelers, and he came in there and he battled it out. It was a gritty back and forth with Wisnowski, yeah. So no, it was funny though. It was a good joke. Russell figured it out though.
For those that don't know what the joke was, it was Eli Manning said maybe they should have paid the punter $250 million instead of Russell Wilson. So there's that. But we talked about it a little bit earlier. I want to get to the topic of Tua.
Sorry.
What? Why?
I don't know. I just really had to do that.
Okay. I can start with Tua.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
What do you
put.
guys think of Tua going back in the game? And what do you think will happen to
Horrible.
Miami with that?
Disgusting act.
What do you mean? Like, what do you think is gonna happen with
Do you
him
think
this
the
week?
PA is
or-
going to do anything? Is my question.
I mean,
Sorry.
Well, we don't know the exact details.
Right.
so-
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think their investigation will lead to anything?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, but I can't speak on
should I
like
just quit?
I mean, hopefully, like it looked like he had a head injury. His head whipped back. It hit the turf. Hopefully, they'll find something because that was really bad to put him back in that game.
Absolutely.
unless he passed the tests. If he did, then cool, throw him back in there. It didn't affect his play the rest of the game. He was fine. They won the game.
Mhm.
They had to come back and beat the Bills. Just saying.
They did.
He did indeed beat the Buffalo.
Horrible
Bills.
clock management at the end of the game there for the Bills.
Oh, terrible. No, what about at half? I think halftime was worse. When they faked the spike, that field goal would have done it.
Yeah, well, it almost looked like he was trying to clock it, but then like he kind of like it moved weird in his hand, so he impulsed like a part of his brain just said no, I gotta just throw it. Like it was weird. Like once I watched the replay, it didn't seem like that's what he wanted to do, because it wasn't like a typical like fake spike like we've seen with Big Ben or other guys. So I don't know. Obviously a blunder, but I don't think it was intended.
So getting back to Tua, well, what do you guys think about it? We'll just go with that instead of me asking a question about a potential investigation.
He's been doing good. I mean, if we're talking just simply from a football standpoint, he's been doing what he needs to do. I mean, look, he has 2 of the best receivers in the entire NFL. And if he can just get them the ball, it doesn't matter how he does it. If they're 20 yards open down the field and he underthrows them, he's making sure they get it and they score touchdowns. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be a perfect throw. Unless, of course, it's a tight window, then he's going to have to make those throws. But for as long as his playmakers are doing their thing and he's getting them the ball, that's all he has to do to be a good quarterback in my mind.
I agree with that. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I still don't think he's the greatest quarterback. But I mean, like he said, like Parker was saying, if the receivers have room of separation room, it doesn't really matter what the throw is looking like as long as it gets there within a certain vicinity. Statistically, he's looking great. I can't really argue against that, but it's really the longevity of the season. Can he continue this all year long, or is it just kind of a like a Ryan Fitzpatrick 3-0 start kind of thing. There's a lot of different angles you could take on this. But as of now, he's definitely impressed me, but I'm still not a long-term believer.
Dom.
I kind of agree. I mean, I think he's the product of the system at the moment.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
really what it is.
Yeah,
Agree.
pretty much.
And it's kind of hard not to perform with the top 2 receivers that he has, Uriah Parker. And he also has a solid tight end and Mike Gesicki.
And I also think, I mean,
He's
like
not gritty for his life.
the play design is incredible too. I think that's a lot of
Yeah,
what it
very
is.
good coaching.
Mike McDaniel might actually be a good head coach.
Yeah, very, very
Just
smart.
maybe.
Jury's still out. It's only 3 games.
I was gonna
but
say,
yes.
again-
Just maybe. We haven't seen enough yet. It's a small sample size.
Correct.
As Theo Ash said, 16 game sample size.
It's now
wait.
17.
It's now 17. Yeah, see if I'll change that. But
I don't know if that was that funny, but
Yeah.
Guys, give him some slack.
I quit.
I quit. I can't do this no more.
All right, so NBA. No, I'm just
Well, actually, let's go to the NBA. We got a little bit of time. Let's talk about the
I see
Celtics
Dom rolling his
situation.
eyes.
Oh, why?
Let's talk about the Celtics situation. So their head coach Ime Udoka has been suspended for the entire season for an inappropriate consensual relationship with a female staffer. So what do you guys think about the suspension?
I mean, I don't think anybody other than the people in that building should have an opinion on it because they know what happened. They know the extent of the violation and they know how to handle it. So if their owner, I can't think of his name, if their owner and the higher ups and the executive want to call that and say, we really think he should be suspended, it's probably for a good reason. Because do you think the team would want to suspend them or suspend him for the whole season after he just led them to the finals? No. Most would be like, what can we do so that he's still out there? Because this team could win a title next year. But no, they hit him with a year. That's a big suspension. So who knows how accurate every report is so far? Because I've seen some things from certain NBA personalities, and obviously I don't know what their sources are, but they're saying that there's more to it. So I'm not going to really have an opinion on it other than that.
I think there's going to be more to this too. I obviously can't say that off of like knowledge, but that's just my thoughts. It's kind of weird that he's going to get suspended for a game. Is he going to come back?
Well, they don't know. They're gonna
really
explore it later.
Don't know how this doesn't end up with him being fired, which sucks because he's an incredible coach.
He really
Yeah, he'll
and
be fired.
I think there's more details that are going to get
Mhm.
unraveled, or he's just going to get fired, and we're just never going to truly know until he comes out and speaks and says something, and then everyone's going to be like, "Oh, why was he fired?" And then someone's going to release the full details, and it's going to end up being a really ugly situation.
Mm-hmm.
Heard it here
Just how
first.
most of this stuff kind of turns out.
Yeah,
Yeah, and not just that for the Celtics this offseason, but Gallinari tore his ACL. There's just been other issues with, all the KD rumors of wanting to maybe go to the Celtics. Jaylen Brown's name was thrown in there. A lot of turmoil over there in Boston for a team that I thought for sure was going to be the favorite to come out of the East after the acquisitions they made with him and Brogdon. And it's just not looking too good.
I still think they'll be good.
Yeah, no one's saying they won't be good, but the difference between coming out of the East and being good is very, very big.
True.
Ryan, your take on this?
I personally don't really have a take on this. I don't know a lot about the situation personally. Again, it's insider, like they know more than we do personally. So, I mean, again, if it's a consensual relationship, but it was inappropriate, I personally don't know what to take with it. I guess the year was satisfied for both parties here, but I'm just going to leave it at
What
that.
a crazy way to find out your husband's cheating on you from like Woj and
Yeah, it gets broke on ESPN and Twitter. Yeah.
Dude, that's tough.
or maybe she knew.
She might have already known,
Maybe. I don't know.
but
You never
if she
know.
did, that would just be terrible to hear that. Not only just for his wife, but also for his 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just a-
He's
the
been
worst
with
part.
her for I think 11 years. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's completely accurate.
Hopefully they knew about this before, just because finding out through Woj and Shams would just be devastating.
Yeah, Woj bomb's just not going to hit the same after that.
All right. I think we're going to end a little bit early tonight, because why not? And also, I'm done with Parker. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Next week, hopefully, we'll have a full show, but probably not because Pat's lazy.
I won't be here next week. I have work. The Phoenix Suns have their preseason game against the Los Angeles Lakers. So.
Thank you for giving us advance.
You know what?
notice.
We appreciate you telling us a week in advance instead of like 5 minutes before. So,
It was more than
hopefully-
5 minutes in his defense, but
hopefully, in 2 weeks, we'll have a full show. Otherwise, I might give up hope on it. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you next week.
And this is my
We're gonna talk about basketball for a little bit.